Hello there, it's Amanda from Amanda Smith Holistics. I've been qualified as a beauty therapist and then evolved much more into my holistic therapies for 30 years now, which is just mind-blowing to me. I feel very blessed that I still adore what I do. I love treating people, helping bring them balance and a bit of relief to things that they might be struggling with. Essential oils are my toolkit. They are my medicine bag. If there's anything wrong with my son or I'll reach for essential oils to try and bring some balance and relief before going on to other things. The essential oil that I wanted to talk to you about today is called frankincense. Now, frankincense, I call him Frank for short. He's like my doorman, my bouncer, and he'll protect at the entrance of my immune system, my emotional system, and if there's things that shouldn't be coming in, he'll stop them. He'll stand there all big and burly. Nah, not today, mate, you're not coming in. I've got 2 essential oil books, and I'm going to read a little bit about it, just so that I get the information right for you. First of all, 2 things. The first thing I wanted to say was that I only use Young Living essential oils. They are my preferred brand. I find that bit of noise, my cat's just jumping onto the bookshelf. So having done lots and lots of research when I first started with essential oils and which brand to use, Young Living caught my attention because Gary Young, who is no longer with us, was a farmer first and foremost, and it was really important to him, not about just earning money from producing oils, but getting the most potent, most powerful essential oil from that plant that he possibly could. And so if that meant growing at a certain altitude, or growing or harvesting the plant under moonlight or at dusk, that's what he would do. He went to great lengths, and still the company still does in his legacy, to create the best, most strongest oil. You do pay for that, but for me it's worth it because I want to know what I'm putting on is the best it can be. So if you're interested in getting hold of any oils, give me a shout and I can help connect you with that. And then the first thing I wanted to read was just a little bit about actual essential oils, because I think often people aren't really sure what they are, and this summed it up quite beautifully, I thought. I can't find the right bit. Well, firstly, to create an essential oil blend. Now, frankincense is what we call a single oil, so it's just frankincense in it, whereas a blend will have top notes, middle notes and base notes all together to create a harmony or a perfume. The top note has fresh, light quality, which is immediately apparent due to the fast evaporation rate. The middle note is the heart of the fragrance, which usually forms the bulk of the blend, whose scent emerges sometime after the first impression. And the base note is a rich, heavy scent that emerges slowly and lingers, and it also acts as a fixative to stop the lighter oils from dispersing too quickly. Ylang Ylang is said to be a well-balanced perfume oil in its own right, and could be described as having a very powerful, sweet, floral top note, a creamy, rich middle note, and a soft, florally, slightly spicy base note. So it does all 3 in one. So back to frankincense. Let's have a little sniff. So because I know that frankincense is pretty good for anxiety, when I smell it, it feels like this blanket of calm just sort of envelops me. It's lovely, and I know that probably now is placebo effect. Because I associate this and it's worked in the past, I smell it and instantly just feel myself relax and melt. So frankincense, or this one is called Boswellia carteri. Now, it's important to know the Latin name because there's a few different frankincense and there's a few lots actually of, say, different lavender. Lavender, for example, some of them can have high quantities of camphor, and lavender is known to be good at healing burns and cuts. But if you get the wrong lavender, the one that's high in camphor, for example, and you put that on a burn, it can make it burn more. So you need to make sure you're getting the Latin name and that essential oil so that you know what it's delivering and what it's doing is actually what it's going to do. That's important. So Boswellia carteri is the frankincense you need for skin, beauty, anxiety, all the things that we're now about to talk about. So it's a handsome small tree or shrub with abundant leaves and little pale white or pink flowers. It yields a gum resin that is collected by making incisions into the bark, and at first a milky white liquid appears and it then solidifies into tear-shaped amber to orange-brown lumps between the size of a pea and a walnut. And that's really interesting because sometimes by the time I get to the end of the bottle, it can go a little bit gummy, and sometimes around the lid it feels a bit hard to open. And I wonder if, it's not too bad. Sometimes in here you can sort of see where it's gone a bit resinous again, which I find quite fascinating. And this is the other thing about essential oils, is that depending on what and where the oil comes from, it's just incredible that all of the tree, whether it's the bark, the tree, the roots, the flower, sometimes bergamot is from the orange blossom flower, whereas orange is from the rind, it's compressed. So the whole thing, Mother Nature gives us plentiful healing properties from so many different parts of her, and I love it. So traditionally and in old folk medicine, it's used as an incense in India, China and the West by the Catholic Church. So a lot of people, when they smell this, can almost visualise the procession with the metal hangy thing. Don't do religion. And it swings and the incense, the smoke comes from it, and they can think of that. In ancient Egypt, it was used in rejuvenating face masks, cosmetics and perfumes. And it's been used medicinally in the East and West for a wide range of conditions, including syphilis, rheumatism, respiratory and urinary tract infections, skin diseases, as well as digestive and nervous complaints. So it's anti-inflammatory, carminative, digestive, diuretic, expectorant, sedative, atonic and uterine, amongst lots of other things. So in aromatherapy, home use, it's good for, in skincare, it's good for blemishes, skin, dry and mature complexions, scars, wounds and wrinkles. For the respiratory system, it's good for asthma, bronchitis, coughs and laryngitis. It's good for colds and flu, and it's good for anxiety, nervous tension and stress-related conditions. Frankincense has among its physical properties the ability to slow down and deepen the breath, which is very conducive to prayer and meditation. So it's just magical, very magical. What else can I tell you about frankincense? I would consider it a base note. It's quite, well, a mid or a base note, because it's between thick and thin. The liquidity of it, which often is indicative that a really thick oil that takes a while to drop out is like a bass note, and then it takes a while to sort of warm up and then let the smell come out into the room. But it's just beautiful. So how I would use it, I would put a drop on my hand, massage my hand together, and then inhale it, cup over my nose and mouth, and take a really nice inhale. And because I like to use I was going to say meditation, and I don't mean meditation, but I like to use the power of my thoughts at the same time as using an essential oil. So for me, I would use frankincense for my anxiety, my perimenopause, trying to balance my hormones that I know when they're out of balance, it's when my anxiety comes. So I try to really reduce my anxiety, bring myself, I am calm, I am in balance, I am strong, and I am healthy. Those are the things that I would be thinking to myself, maybe even saying out loud if that brings it to me fully. I'd then put one hand up on my chest and one hand on my tummy, sort of on my solar plexus, because they're places that tend to feel tight with the anxiety. So again, essential oils will go to every single cell in the body and work really hard. Luna would like to get herself on YouTube. But also, they go into every single cell of the body, but by holding your hands over a specific place that we want to action, I feel like we draw the energy there and really bring it into balance. So if you weren't having anxiety issues, but you had hormonal issues, maybe you would hold it over your womb, both hands over each ovary. If you had too much thinking time, maybe I would put one hand on here. This is the parasympathetic nervous system, and just by massaging here we can really slow down the body but then slow down the mind. So maybe circling here and one hand on the heart, or one hand here and here. And I tend to do this as soon as I've got out of the shower, before I've got any clothes on, and then any excess on my hands I'll just wipe up my arms, because then it sort of wafts throughout the day, and then I moisturise all over. So while it's still on my hands, I'll moisturise so that I've got a sort of perfume. But as a little note, sunshine and essential oils sometimes aren't a very good mix, so you need to be mindful that you're not then going to go in the sun. Another little note, if you're on any medication, heart conditions, skin thinners, blood thinners, be mindful before playing around with essential oils. If you're unsure, ask your doctor before using. Always be mindful of anything else, because you don't want anything to mix and cause issues. You don't want to bring more issues whilst trying to fix other issues. That wouldn't be very good. So that is frankincense. One more deep breath before I get on with my day. So frankincense, Boswellia carteri, Young Living are my go-tos for anxiety, perimenopause, hormonal, and just needing a little bit of stillness. Enjoy the rest of your day.